Hello, hello, hello. Hey, hey, hey. It's me, Jaleesa. Come on in. Welcome back to Reading Beyond the Book Cover, where we stay reading beyond the book's cover. I'm excited to have you back. If this is your first time, in case you missed it, there's a episode before this that covers chapters 1 through 4 for Mrs. Wiggins. And Mrs. Wiggins is the first book in the Lexington, Alabama series by Mary Monroe. And I am currently reading it and hosting a buddy read for it. So in order to keep me on task, I am also doing these small it's like small little summaries. I call it the road to review because eventually I am going to review the book in its totality, but I just want to give you like a peek into my thought process as I'm reading the book and things that I'm noticing, my thoughts. And I'm also trying to get some traction, hopefully, through different avenues, and this being one of them. So I'm excited to have you here. Like I said, if you haven't heard it yet, go on ahead, listen to the one for chapters 1 through 4, and then come on back here as we're going to go through chapters 5 through 7. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get started. So chapter 4 begins with a seed that's been planted in Maggie's head from chapter 4. So chapter 4, I didn't go into detail about it, but she and Jesse were speaking to each other after work, and Jesse had mentioned something about their hands getting wrinkled from the work that they're doing, and that they're lucky that they have a man right now because, they got picked up at their prime. So Jesse has this thought that as long as a woman is a perfect wife, there is no way that her husband will leave for another woman. And Maggie is listening to this. She's like, I understand, but at the same time, it's like, okay, girl, I ain't got to worry about that. But she doesn't know that the reason why she as in Jesse, doesn't know that Maggie isn't that concerned about that because her husband is gay. But then at the same time, Maggie, after she leaves the conversation, it's stuck with her afterwards. So as she's cooking food for Hubert, she's thinking, it's possible that he could leave me for a man, but nah, like she's telling herself, don't think about it too much. And this is like one of the few times that I have seen or read Maggie actually contemplate whether or not she got married too early, or if there was more to life that she should have tried to experience before trying to settle down with someone. Because she has this thought that getting married to Hubert is the best thing that's happened to her. The more and more I've read, the more I'm just like, girl, you would have done better being alone. But I guess I'm in my mindset, I'm thinking from a 2023 woman. I'm not thinking from a 1917 perspective. So I'm pretty sure she really did think that she hit jackpot when she married Hubert. So she's having all these thoughts and she's thinking to herself, I don't have to worry about this, but at the same time I'm worried. So she comes to Hubert and tells him, hey, I'm ready to go ahead and get this ball rolling. I want to start doing our manhunt. And he's all super excited. He's like, oh, I thought it was going to take you a little bit more time because, you said you want to get used to being married first. But that's good to hear. We can start, soon as we can. So they have plans to go to this place called in Toxie, Alabama. It's a bar. I don't know the name of the place. I don't think the name was in the book, but they want to go to a place that's like 45 minutes away from their current town. But before they can do that, they have to go to Bible study. So they're at Bible study and it's on a Friday. If you're not familiar with what Bible study is, it is a weekly session where the saints, the people in the church, they come together and they study the Bible. So during this time, or I don't know if it's just that area, but I know nowadays most people do it on a Wednesday. They have their Bible study on a Friday. So it's like, I really don't want to be here right now because it's the weekend, right? You have that mindset. So they both are at the Bible study. They don't really want to be there because they want to go ahead and get that manhunt together. And even if they didn't have a manhunt to go to, like looking for this baby daddy, they still didn't want to be there. Like, they're good Christians, but they only could be so faithful. That's how they see it. They think that they're not doing the Lord's work if they don't go to Bible study. And of course it doesn't help that his mother and father are like, oh, you need to come, you need to be around, blah, blah, blah. This is where you kind of see how Ma Wiggins, which is the mother of Hubert, how she's always picking at Maggie still, even after Maggie has gotten married to her son. And she kind of makes Maggie a little bit anxious and act different. I don't like it, but I'll say more about that later. They're at Bible study, and because they're trying to get out and about before it's too dark, Maggie comes up with this lie that Hubert is sick, and everybody's like, "Oh, he's sick. You should have stayed at home." But then at the same time, they are afraid to leave because you don't want to disappoint anybody. So they stay the entire time until it gets late, and it gets to a point where the weather's not that good. Maggie is starting to feel like she wants to back out of going to the bar in Toxie, Alabama. And he was like, "No, we're going to go. Because if you say you don't want to go this time, you may not want to go next time." And I didn't like that, but that's not my business. So, because I was like, you ain't the one that's got to get pregnant, sir. Like, you calm down. Like, this is a life-altering decision that's going on. But they go to this bar, and they didn't catch any fish. And Maggie leaves very disappointed. She's like, "Oh, my God. We go to this place, hopefully we'll find somebody," and we didn't find anybody at all. Because the people that they did see, the men were either came in there with other women, or the men just didn't look friendly. So she's already discouraged. But luckily, that discouragement, it goes away when they head to Mississippi the next Sunday. So they go there Sunday, and they were able to go on that Sunday because they acted like Hubert was sick again. And I think they also skipped Bible study. So this is adding up over time as far as the lies, and it's catching the attention of Ma Wiggins, and she don't like it. I tell you, this lady, she stresses me out. Ma Wiggins, she stresses me out. But this Sunday they go to Mississippi and they visit this bar, and Maggie starts to realize slowly, it took a while. It took Hubert leaving for a little while for her to notice that the reason why she wasn't getting anyone to talk to her is because Hubert was there. Everybody thought that Hubert was her man, and her lying and saying Hubert is just a friend of mine. He's married to some lady. I'm here just on my own. Blah 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 blah. It's still not working. So she tells him when he comes back from wherever he was, she's like, "Look, dude, next time we go out, you don't come with me. I need to go alone because if we want to get this done snappy, you need to be somewhere else." So then he was like, "Bet, fine, okay, I won't come out anymore." Because at first people was like, "Well, maybe I'll stick around, but just be in the background." She's like, "No, don't come at all because I need to do this on my own in order to make sure it's successful." So the opportunity for her to test this, it starts to happen. So she's able to actually go on the next Friday, or actually that same Friday, because usually on Fridays, remember, they go to Bible study. But Ma Wiggins, which is Hubert's mom, she calls and she says, "Oh, we're not going to have Bible study this Friday because it's going to be at somebody else's house or something or the other." And she's like, "Oh, okay, fine. Like, that's good." So Maggie is like, "Whew, thank you, Jesus, wherever you are." Like, I didn't want to go to this Bible study anyway. She wants to go ahead and go and find her man. So she says, "Thank you for the message. See you when I see you." And then she decides to go on ahead and go to this other place. I don't know how far away is it, but she went to this place called Needham, and she goes alone. And so she's alone for the first time. So in the next couple of chapters, we will see how her experience is without Hubert. Now, things that make me go, If you were here last time, you know that I do this part as almost like just like annotations or thoughts that I had off the side that have nothing to do with the summary. I sprinkled them in every now and then with what I said before, but now this is where I want your input. So, unsurprisingly, after experiencing failure at the first bar, Hubert remains hopeful, right? Because he really wants a child. He's like, "You'll be fine, girl. You're cute. Somebody's going to snatch you up, impregnate you, and we're going to have a child." But this is my issue with that. I love that he is supportive, and I love that he is optimistic about everything. But it's moments like these that display how it's like he's doing it, but he's only doing it to protect himself and his secret. That's all I'm getting the entire time. So what do you say? Like, if you read up to this point, or you read the book, did you feel the same way, or did you feel differently, or am I overthinking things? Because that's what it feels like. Like, I thank you, but I don't thank you, Hubert, because I feel like you want me to do this, not for myself, but more so for you. It just comes off as selfish in a way. Then I also ask the question, why is it always Maggie telling Hubert's parents that they cannot attend a church function? Like, in the book, I never hear Hubert, or never see Hubert, say anything to the parents about, oh, we can't come on Friday, we can't come on Saturday, we can't come Sunday. It's always Maggie having to do the calling, knowing well that she doesn't feel comfortable around the parents because of how they judge her and her parents. And all of it happening so often, it just seems like she's literally getting her hands dirty because of Hubert. And he may not see it that way. Most likely they're like, this is a woman's duty. But I don't like it. Again, let me know if I'm overthinking it, or if you had the same sentiments. And if you didn't, like, why not? Like, do you just see it as normal? Because to me, I just think it should be even when it comes to making decisions like this, or not even decisions, but when we have to speak to our parents or your parents. Let's do it together. Why is it always me all the time? That's your mama and daddy, not mine. You know, that's how it feels for me. And then lastly, Ma Wiggins is stressing me out. I said that before. I'm going to say it again. She's stressing me out. She does these pop-up visits that are signs that either she is keeping tabs on Maggie, or she doesn't have anything to do at all. There's one part in the book where she shows up at the house and nobody knew that she showed up there. And then she tells them, like, I came over there just to check to see if y'all were okay. Nobody asked for you. But I know back in the day, it was a whole different thing. But it's just, I don't know. I have this thing about people minding their business, and when they don't, it irritates me. So between Ma Wiggins and Jesse, Maggie is surrounded by these meddlesome spirits, as I call it. they're meddlers. Everywhere she goes is always somebody that's in her business. And that's why I feel like she maybe shouldn't have got married, because, especially to a man like Hubert, because everybody is going to be in their business. This is not easy. It seems like it's more difficult than it would be to be alone. That's the thought I have. I don't know. That's how I'm feeling right now. Maybe it'll change later, but right now I'm feeling, girl, you would have done better just being alone. So until next time, look for me in your rearview mirror, and I'll see you all in the next Road to Review, chapters 8 through 11. See you when I see you. Not goodbye. I got to tell you something else. I almost forgot. Make sure you drink your water. Mind the business as yours. Why? Because it's yours, okay? Mind the business as yours. And continue reading beyond the book's cover. Bye.